All right, on my workbench is a 301A that I just acquired. It's from the era of around 1951. Again, with these 301s and 301As, it's sometimes hard to pinpoint a specific birth date. So it's going to be from around 1951. Just bought it from the original owner's daughter. Fantastic machine, but it does have some aesthetic things that I'm going to be working on to try to get it ready for sale. And it's also got that coveted long bed and obviously black versus the beige colored ones that the 301s and 301As come in. And I know that as a general rule, the long bed and the black 301s and 301As are a little bit more sought after than the beige ones. I'm not sure why that is. I really like the look of the beige ones as well. And another machine I wanted to update you on. Whoops, there goes my phone. Hello, this is Scott.
Good morning, Scott. How are you?
Good. I can just barely hear you. Who is this?
Yeah, this is Bill. Maybe we have to try this again because we don't have a good connection. I'm going to hang up and then dial back. I'll give it about a minute and then I'll dial again.
Actually, Bill, you're coming through pretty clear now. Just kind of, if you could just speak up a little bit, that'd be great.
Okay, I'm practically yelling now.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Yeah, so let me hang up and we'll try again. We'll try to get a better connection.
Okay, I've got the camera rolling right now, so why don't we just bear through it a little bit? Unless you think calling back right away will fix it, and then I can kind of explain to folks as you're getting ready to call back what I'm going to try to do. I was telling them about that 301 A that I just procured from the original owner. So if you think calling back will help, go ahead and do that, and I'll talk to the folks a little bit about what I have on the computer right now and kind of give them a little bit of a baseline.
Okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that in the hopes that we get a better connection. I'll be right back. Don't go away.
Okay, sounds good, Bill. Thanks. Okay, folks, so that's Bill O'Rourke from Florida, and he's going to be calling back. I asked Bill, let me kind of adjust my camera shot here a little bit. I asked Bill to give me a call so that we could chat about my idea of putting him on as a moderator for this page. So that's him calling back right now. Hopefully this is a... Hey, Bill, Scott.
Hey, Scott. How's that? Is that any better?
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I'll just kind of hold the phone in the direction of the camera, and I was just explaining to subscribers and viewers about the idea of bringing you on board as a moderator. And so why don't you? I'll kind of hold the phone near the camera because I know that you've had some real bad storms down in Florida, and they're probably still resolving some of the phone line issues. But why don't you just tell them a little bit, kind of your background, who you are, and then I can share a little bit about the moderator role, and hopefully we can get you on board and bringing all of your talent and your insights to the channel in a more active way. You've already been involved, but this will give you an identified role. So I'm going to hold the camera. I'm going to hold the phone by the camera and just talk to the folks.
Okay, great. Okay, guys, my name is Bill O'Rourke. I've been on Facebook for quite a while. A little bit of my background is I've been a church musician for about 50 years. I'm retired now. For the past 20 years, I've been a researcher and writer for Coin World magazine. I've been, I would say, probably for 60 years at this point, since I'm a kid, interested in the really old antiques, and I've restored things that would knock your socks off. I have a lot of fun restoring old reed organs. I've worked on and restored pipe organs in various churches. I've done numerous antique sewing machines. I really love Singer treadle machines. It's a lot of fun. It's a passion of mine to just take things apart and put them back together. And the older they are, the better. I like to say that I can fix anything that's 100 years old or more. It's a lot of fun, and I'm hoping to be a help to Scott here as a moderator on his group, in the hopes that I can help some folks with their old machines. So how's that, Scott?
Oh, I think that's fantastic. I'm going to actually go over by the camera so I can kind of keep you near the camera, because I know that any of you are not aware, there have been some horrific storms down near where Bill is, and I'm guessing that the utility people and everyone else are kind of scrambling still to try to get things functioning perfectly. So even with Bill cranked up all the way on my phone and with the phone real close to the camera, some of you may maybe be cranking up the volume on your phones just so you can hear him more readily. But I think Bill is a wonderful resource. Also, the thing I have to commend him for is that even as busy as he is in retirement, I think retirement is almost kind of a paradox, because I don't think Bill ever will retire. But even in retirement by definition, he's been extremely engaged and active on this Facebook page for Cow Country, and certainly in his activity on the YouTube channel as well. And it's, as I've said in past videos, it really is inspiring to me when folks are engaged, when they step out of the shadows, when they help to reach out and give me a little bit of encouragement. But most importantly, when someone has a need, they immediately will step forward and try to be a resource to them. And so this is really solidifying a role that Bill has already been actively engaged in, and that is to be a resource of information and knowledge, and his willingness and his generosity in giving his time to try to help folks out. As a matter of fact, right now, those of you that were on the recent premiere for the Husqvarna Viking 6020 may have seen a gentleman pop up on the chat feed by the first name of Dan. Well, Dan and I have been in communication for a week now. He lives in Hawaii, and I'm actually in the process of preparing a 201-2 for him to ship it to him, Hawaii. But he also located another machine that I didn't have as much knowledge about. It's a white rotary, a pretty dated model. And that came up in the discussion on the chat, and Bill right away jumped in as a resource and had some insights that I would not have had in order to help Dan out. And I know I'm going to be sending some pictures to Bill as well that Dan shared, so that we can try to steer Dan a little bit and hopefully give him some good input that helps him to decide whether or not he's going to invest in this white rotary that is in Hawaii right now. And then ultimately, he and I chatted this morning. He's very likely going to pull that machine head from the table that it's in, and he's going to ship it to the workshop here, and then we'll have an opportunity to kind of watch that progression of it being restored as well. So those are all things that Bill has already been involved in, even before he had a defined role on this page on Facebook. So I'm very grateful for all that he's already done. Bill, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of scroll down. You can't see it because we're on phone right now. We're not doing a video chat. But I'm going to scroll down and just talk a little bit about the moderator role. So bear with me for a second, okay?
Yep, sounds good.
Okay, and what I was telling Bill a little bit earlier is there's a great company. It's a PR firm that's done an excellent job of kind of summarizing the roles on Facebook. There's an admin role, there's an editor role, there's a moderator role, there's an advertiser role, there's an analyst role, and it goes on and on and on and on. And as I looked at the amount of time that Bill has to offer, he's very busy, even though he's by definition retired, and his talents that I've been able to observe, the moderator role just seemed to be a fantastic role for him. So I'm kind of zooming in on it right now on the computer I have. And I'm just going to read it just so that all of you that, like me, were not really familiar with it. All of us know what a moderator is by definition, but this firm, I think, does a really good job of defining what the role is on Facebook because it's a totally different venue. So they write, the moderator is a role best fit for an individual who handles customer service for the business and is knowledgeable about the business. A moderator can, I'm kind of moving the camera around, answer questions and respond to comments. And also the moderator can remove or ban people from the page, create ads, view page insights, etc. Okay, that's a real rough thumbnail. The point is, it's a real role, and it has real authority on the page. Bill's not a guy that's going to jump out and ban anybody, I don't think. But the point is, it's a defined role that has that level of authority because it's an important function in order to better serve those individuals that are coming to that page. So it's a role that, in my opinion, if you're talking with Bill as a moderator, you're talking to someone that has the same level of authority, insight, passion that I do. So it's simply a way of defining that now so that you can see him as a go-to resource, which he's already been doing, but also someone that can be trusted and someone that can be a great resource in answering questions if I'm not available. The one thing that I found as I finally heeded the advice of friends and family that were a lot more knowledgeable about Facebook than I was how busy I would get as a result of coming to Facebook. Not just in direct business. A lot of business has come as well with individuals either dropping off or shipping their machines to have them repaired or serviced, which is wonderful. It's a wonderful blessing. But also in fielding questions and calls from individuals as well. I shared with Bill just earlier this morning, I was on the phone for almost an hour with someone from New Zealand, and as I review in my mind the conversation that we had, all the answers that I provided at a very high level were ones that Bill could have, without even blinking, could have provided. And the same thing is true of a number of inquiries that I get with questions that come into this page as well. So that's where Bill can be a wonderful resource to all of us, to give me the freedom to do additional things to expand our reach and to get more people excited and passionate about what we're doing with vintage sewing machines, but also to shine a spotlight on the incredible gifts and talents that Bill can offer at an even more increased level with this defined role. So, Bill, I have the gift of gab. Let me shut up for a second, and then based on what I've shared and what I've read, would you share whatever your thoughts are at this point?
Yeah, some of the things that you said there, as far as leading people in the right direction, that will be my goal. But if there is something I don't know, I will not be afraid to say, I don't know. Something I learned as a teacher in my past was that if you don't have the answer, don't make one up. One of the things that was a key thing that I learned was you don't necessarily need to know everything right off the top of your head, but you do need to know where to find the answer. And one of the things as a researcher that I do is I can always find the answer. I can almost always find the answer. But if I can't find something, I will let you know that. I will not try to steer you in a bad direction. But my passion for particularly vintage sewing machines and anything older makes me want to do the best job that I can at getting you the right answer, moving you in the right direction, not leading you in a wrong direction, and just helping you to enjoy your machines. That's the whole idea behind all this, is to help you have fun with your machine, do what you want with your machine, know the capabilities of of the machine that you're working with, and I'm sure we can solve a lot of problems.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, let me ask you officially in front of our friends, and again, we have friends all the way around the world that share our passions, which is really cool, and it's great to have Bill considering this role so that he can be a resource to them as well. It's not just helping folks local, it's helping people all the way around the globe, just like that recent individual that reached out to us from Nigeria, Africa. And Bill right away jumped out, again, not even having an official role yet, to try to help that individual out. And what an impression we can create when we have resources like that are as generous in sharing their knowledge and their time as people like Bill O'Rourke. So, Bill, let me ask you officially in front of our friends, is this a role that you are willing to commit to and accept for as long as you're able to do it?
Absolutely, 100%. I want to make this a joy for people that have these machines, that want to know what they want to know. I want to help them do whatever they need to do, and I'm committed 100%, 110%. How's that?
110% is better than I could ask for. So I want to officially welcome Bill to the team. Once he officially accepts it, I sent him an invite now. Once he officially accepts it, his name under members for the page for Facebook will pop up. And feel free to reach out to him as you would to me. I know that on a number of occasions, even recently when I had a machine that was shipped and just was poorly packed and utterly destroyed, it was a Singer 15125, and because of my busyness and just because I had my preset notions, I knew that this was a fairly rare machine, unless you're potentially, up in Canada where they have more of them apparently. But I knew it was a fairly rare machine and that finding parts was going to be a nightmare. Within, I would say, less than an hour of having shared that information, the concern about finding parts, Bill had already, again with his research capabilities, had already identified a venue where I could find them. And then I did a fun little spoof like I was a magician and took broken parts and made them whole again. But those parts actually came as a result of Bill finding a place that I could get them. And then I was able to purchase them and get that machine restored properly. And there was a buyer that immediately stepped forward and scarfed up that machine. So there again, Bill had stepped forward and offered a resource that I wasn't as well equipped to do. Again, with his talent in research and his drive and his passion, it's just incredible. It's incredible to have him as officially part of the team now. So Bill, again, I'm very excited to have you on board. And any parting comments, I want you to wrap this video up with anything else you want to say, short, longer, in between.
Okay, just a couple of things real quick. I was thrilled to be able to find the parts for that beautiful green machine, that 15125. I was within a couple of minutes. I wanted to try to find those parts, and I was thrilled that I was able to, help you with that. That's the kind of thing that I like to do. There are people out there that have questions, that have needs, that want to get something done, and I enjoy helping them do that. They shouldn't have to struggle. They should be able to have a resource where they can go to try to get the information that they need and get good information. There are other Facebook pages out there where you can get information, but so often the information is not necessarily as correct as it could be. I try to get you the right answer the first time around so you don't have to struggle and so that you don't do any further damage to your machine while you're trying to get it to work. I love doing this. I like, from the first time that I saw one of Scott's videos and got to know Scott, and we're friends and brothers at this point, his old school way of doing things, his ethics in business, the way that he does things, the way he does a job, the way he completes a job, the way he goes over everything and every little detail on every machine just impressed me so much that I just felt like I wanted to jump in and do anything I could to help him with his channel. he's just a phenomenal person, a phenomenal technician. It's just amazing. I'm honored to be able to work with him. And that's about it, Scott. I think I've said what I can say at that point. I mean, I just really appreciate being able to jump in and help you out with this.
Well, I think you covered everything beautifully. So if you're a part of this premiere when it airs, make sure you reach out through the chat and congratulate Bill and really give him a sense of the value that we attach to him being involved officially now, but certainly in the past has been a major contributor, and I've mentioned that in other videos, a major contributor to making both the YouTube channel and the Facebook page that much better. And I would also point back to his passion and integrity as one of the core things that prompted me to reach out to him and to invite him to take on this new official role as a moderator. That's the kind of person that's like-minded that I want to be standing beside, continuing to pay it forward and continuing to build the reputation that we're trying to build, where people can see us as a go-to resource. And whether they live in Nigeria, Africa, or Australia, or anywhere else in the world or within the U.S., they can immediately say, if you're looking for an answer, reach out to Bill and Scott. And if they don't have it, you know what? They're going to uncover every stone that there's to be uncovered to try to find an answer for you. So, Bill, welcome aboard, my friend. God bless you. And again, really looking forward to whatever contributions you have time to pour into this, and hope that your writing and your coins will somehow also be an inspiration to folks as well, because it's all about vintage, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Anything 100 years old, that's right up my alley. 100 years old or more. But of course, newer things, newer machines, I'm jumping right in there, and I'll be getting whatever information out there to folks on those as well. Don't think it has to be 100 years old or more to ask me a question. I'm going to love this, Scott. I appreciate the opportunity to help you. I'm just thrilled. I'm thrilled. This is going to be great.
All right. Well, folks, you heard it officially now. Bill O'Rourke is a moderator for the Facebook page. I'm also going to explore ways to involve him more actively on YouTube as he has time available. We'll kind of take baby steps into it, because I know in retirement he's still busier than most people are when they're still actively working. So I don't want to be too selfish in trying to push too much on him. And if you feel like any of you that are watching this right now, it doesn't matter where you live, if you also, as you learn more about Bill's role and you kind of see what he's doing, I certainly have room for another moderator. So as Bill gets his feet wet, a couple months down the road or whatever, if you want to reach out to him and just ask for his insights, and then after talking with him, if you feel like you want to take steps forward and kind of throw your hat into the ring as another potential moderator, Bill and I will certainly invite that and welcome that. Again, the more resources we have to offer to all the folks that are coming to us, the more of a blessing we can be to them. So, all right, Bill, well, God bless you, my friend. I hope the weather stays tolerable down there. And again, welcome aboard.
Thank you, sir. And yeah, the weather, it should be okay today, I hope. And thank you, sir. This is a great opportunity. Thank you, Scott.
All right, well, stay tuned for more great videos like this, folks. God bless you guys. And again, if you're part of this premiere, make sure that you reach out to Bill and welcome him aboard. All right, take care, folks. Bye-bye.